Fear not, citizen. Justice will be served. You're in good hands.
The defense is wrong.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Hello, everybody. Hi, Judy. Hey, Jinx. Good to see everybody. Hi. Let's see who else we have in here. We've got Tiger Lily, Damien. That's a new name. Hi, Karen. All right. So, I don't have any mods right now, but that's okay. So we're gonna go ahead and start. As always, big trigger warning. I don't know if I'm gonna start off with any snacks. I don't really have anything. I don't have too much left going on. Oh my God, he knows I've got cookies right here. Hi, Junior. Good to see you. Hi. So, today we're gonna get into Shanda's arrest and booking video, and then we're going to get into opening statements from the defense and prosecution. And that's really all we're going to get into today from that. And then what I want to start off with is a case that some of you might know. It went to news, but for me, it was really hard just because of the ages. But I don't think it got a whole lot of attention, and I think that it should. And I'll tell you why when we get started. But while we do that, or while we wait for some more people to come in, I guess we can try a couple snacks. I've got a couple things left. I'm going to keep this trigger warning up for a minute. I've been having like the worst hot and cold flashes. Ugh. All right, let's see. First, okay, we'll try a couple things. All right. So, how was everybody's Easter weekend? How was it? Hopefully it was good. Did the Easter Bunny bring you lots of golden eggs, hopefully? Some candy, good food, maybe some relaxation. I don't know. All right, let me make myself big. See, this is blurry, right? My husband's gonna get me a new camera to fix all this, but so for drink, I don't know if I'm supposed to shake this, so I'm gonna slowly rotate it. Candy. Yeah, did you get a lot of Easter candy? So, milkshake. Oh, gross. Hold on. I didn't see this when I bought it. See, I'm already grossed out. It says milkshake. All I saw was the sangria part. Mind you, I didn't think it was alcohol sangria because I don't drink alcohol. Rainy here, but got some sunshine for working. Oh, You're gonna have to show me pictures of your garden. I want to see it. I don't have a garden, but I've got like plants and flowers. Ew. That doesn't smell terrible. I've just milkshake sangria. Like when you think of sangria, you think of like the alcohol version, right? It's like super fruity. It's got all the chunks of fruit in it. It's like a wine, kind of fruity wine thing. I'm so pumped, and I'll definitely, yes, I want to see. I'll show you some of what I got. I'm going to start growing some veggies because, the apocalypse is coming. Speaking of which, y'all's president, not my president, went on the biggest Easter tweet tangent. Did you guys see that shit? Holy hell. Hey, what up, Pinky? Good to see you. What up, Nikki? I keep calling you Pinky, and I want to. It's Pink Nikki. Hi, King. Uh-oh, now the boys gonna come to the yard. Milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. All right, let's see if it does. Because I don't have faith in this, to be honest with you. But I am excited. Y'all saw my sour racha candy that I got. Well, I found the mango. I think this is mango lime, and I'm so excited because y'all know that was a 10 out of 10. Frick yeah. But did y'all see the tangent that little orange man or the big orange man went on? Oh my God. And then I guess he went on another tangent this morning. Did you see he wants to go to the, oh my word, ma'am, to learn Spanish, ma'am. I already knew that he wanted to. Hold on, hold on. I need more room. Nikki, order the order. No, ma'am. Look, I heard that he wanted to become their president, and I know he wants to be everybody's president. It's been kind of chilly, but I'm not complaining. All my flowers are coming up, and the apple trees are. Oh, nice. Awesome, Junior. Love mango. Yes. Yeah. Um, but y'all, this old orange man is out of control, and he done started cursing on the tweets. He done said, I'm effing, I'ma F shit up. Like he ain't already been doing that anyways before I start getting unfollowed on subscribers. I don't have a lot of faith in this. It's not as bad as last week's drink, but I'm not gonna finish it. And I wouldn't suggest this to anybody, but it's not as bad as last week's drink. I need a minute because that was milky. Mm, girl, I've been worried, but yeah, I'm I'm worried. It's not good. It's not good. None of it's good. He lost his mind a long time ago. I think someone thought they found it and handed it back to him, but I think he lost it again. You guys need some water. All right. Let's try well, we're just waiting for people to come in, y'all. Do we need to buy iodine pills or something, girl? I'm starting my vegetable little garden today. So, I'm getting prepared. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. No, I wouldn't recommend this ones. The regular one, the regular sour racha, That one's 10 out of 10. This one is not. So far, it's a fail today, y'all. And this is not good. All right. Next, we got these melty cheese pizza potato chips from, what is that? Calbee. And no one can read that unless you can. She said, Oh, where's my scissors? I need my scissors. Wait. Let's do it this way. You smell all right. Is this a cooking show? No, we're gonna get into it in a second, Junior. I'm just trying weird snacks while I wait for people to come in. I'm about to start in a second. And I'm definitely not cooking any of this, so. Oh. Oh. I give these a 9 out of 10. I'll finish these later. All right. That's it. That's all I've got. So, I'm going to put this back up. Snacks before true crime. That's right. Gotta snacks and true crime. Gotta balance it out. All right. So, oops. Trigger warning. Big, big, big trigger warning in this first little tiny news segment before I get on to the arrest and booking video and to opening statements. So, this is something that happened. This was either late last year or earlier this year. You might have heard about it. This is not easy because of the ages. And it's something that we need to talk about. I'm going to play a couple news clips. And the reason that we need to talk about it is because this doesn't just happen when you're this age. You learn this behavior from something. You learn this behavior from somewhere, from someone, most likely within your home. So something tells me that these children didn't just, hey, Matt, good to see you. These children didn't just wake up one day and say, this is something that I want to do. This is something that, and everything I say here is alleged. This is something, hi, Daria, good to see you, that might have happened to them. Or I'm going to give the family the benefit of the doubt of maybe a family member, church member, it could be anybody. Benefit of the doubt, maybe the kids got online and saw something maybe they shouldn't have seen. But anywho, add this to the stage one more time. Trigger warning, because I don't have any mods in the chat to do it for me right now. It's okay. If I see any trolls in here or anyone acting out, I will not hesitate to put you in the corner. You want to act like a child, you will be treated like a child. Okay. So with that being said, we're going to get into the first video. Buckle up, Buttercup.
It's a real quiet, empty street, for the most part. But it is a lot of kids that's down there on that other end. It's just disturbing to know that it's kids that's on my street that's young enough to know to do stuff like that.
I'm going to warn you, this is a tough one. This is, I don't know if we've seen.
And And anybody that I play on here, whether it's Vinnie Politan, Ashley Banfield, I know we all have our own feelings towards all these people, but these are the sources, these are the videos, and it's what we've got. So it's what we're going to work with.
Seen anything like this to this degree. 9 and 10-year-old suspects, 5-year-old victim, Nadine Abusada from Scripps News Group has the story.
5-year-old victim, 9 and 10-year-old suspects. Want you to let that sink in. These children were 9 and 10 years old. Their victim was 5 years old.
She a mini you.
Yeah, she literally will crack you up. Like, she's so proper, the way she talks, everything about her is just like bubbly.
When talking about her 5-year-old daughter, and Tavia Kennebrew lights up.
She is very, very affectionate.
But sadly, that joyful spirit
It was horrible.
is broken.
The bubbly 5-year-old. I know she was not there no more.
We're not naming the child or showing her face because she is a minor. But this horrific story begins on September 13th. And Tavia says she left her 5-year-old daughter at a family member's house. Then she got a call. Her daughter was missing. When she arrived, the little girl was already in an ambulance.
I could not recognize my daughter. Her hair was ripped out of her head. She had bruises all over her.
Imagine being a mother and getting this phone call that your 5-year-old daughter was just found like this.
Her nails was filled in dirt, and she was unresponsive.
And this mom looks young herself. Like, she looks like she's young also.
Tavia says her daughter was taken to a wooded area where a group of children attacked her. The allegations, which include sexual assault, are too disturbing to share with you.
That is so evil. It's so evil.
News 5 reached out to Cleveland police regarding this incident. What can you tell me about this investigation involving a 5-year-old allegedly being assaulted?
It is an active investigation that the Cleveland Division of Police is conducting at this time.
In a statement, the department confirmed that the Sex Crimes and Child Abuse Unit is actively investigating a case involving multiple children under the age of 10, both as victims and as suspects.
And we have to protect the rights that the victims have, just as well as the suspects in these cases.
And Tavia says her daughter spent about a week in the hospital. The moment she opened her eyes,
She was screaming. When she woke up, she said they killed me. She thought she was dead.
the memories came flooding back.
To hear your baby say that she dead, what? A 5-year-old shouldn't even know that word. Like,
How is she now?
she's struggling mentally and behaviorally. She say things that she never said before. More violent, more suicidal things.
She says now
That's so heartbreaking. I see people are leaving and it's okay. I understand. This is really hard. Like, I remember when I first heard the story, I literally, I couldn't believe it. But once we get through these videos, I'm going to talk about some things.
her focus is on just 2 things: making sure her daughter heals and getting justice. You posted about it. Why? Why did you want to speak out regarding what happened to your daughter?
Because I needed justice for my daughter.
So when you say justice, what does that look like?
Everybody involved in the pain that was inflicted on my daughter, they get what they deserve.
Jinx, we're gonna get into that. They're currently being evaluated. I think one's currently on house arrest, being monitored.
This is, Let me put up the charges. She didn't say what the charges were. Here's the charges against the 9 and 10-year-old. 1 count of attempted murder, 4 counts of rape, 2 counts of felonious assault, 1 count of kidnapping, 1 count of strangulation.
What the actual F, you guys? This is a 9 and 10-year-old, and this is a boy and a girl. I think the girl's 10 and the little boy is 9. If I'm correct, we'll figure that out in a minute. It'll tell us. This is crazy. These are serious charges.
Okay, Lori, what do we do with the 9 and 10-year-old?
You want to talk to the lawyer or you want to talk to the mom? Because there are 2 different opinions going on in my side of my head right now. I mean, as a mom, I would like to be.
This happened. Let me double check on that, Junior. I want to say it happened like 8 months ago. Let me double check.
These children, I would like to lock them away and I would like to never see them again. As a lawyer, they are
I know it happened in Cleveland, Ohio.
children. They would hopefully be able to be rehabilitated. So, I mean, it's juvenile court. They go into juvenile court and then hopefully get the treatment and help that they need. I have no words for this. This is the worst thing. You know, I keep saying this is the worst thing I've seen on my videos. I keep saying that, and then Satan comes in and moves the bar a little bit higher. And this is horrendous. There are no words for this. I don't know if you can rehabilitate kids like that. I would hope that you could. Defense attorney in me says let's try, but the mom in me says those kids need to be locked away in a mental institution at best for a very long time.
Yeah, I mean, I think they can only hold them until they're 20.
So, yeah, this happened back in October, September, November. Yeah, so this was back in September, November. Yeah, it's pretty sad, Junior. And it's important that we talk about this to bring awareness to it because it's about what happened to this little girl. It's about the suspects and what they did to this little girl, but it's also about these suspects possibly being victims themselves and what was going on in their homes because, like I said, they ripped out her hair. Sorry, that was not
21, Allie. In juvenile court, this thing's not getting waived up.
There's just a lot of things wrong with this story. And then we'll see some court footage where one of the moms of the little kids comes in and let me tell you something. She comes in with her hoodie, right? This is an adult. This is an adult of a child who just victimized a little 5-year-old girl, and she comes in with her hoodie like this. I'm not kidding. What the actual hell? I couldn't believe it.
To adult court, 9 and 10 years old, not happening. Usually in Ohio, it's like 14 is the age. What do we do, Allie?
Yeah. This first, I mean, I echo what everybody else is saying, thinking I can not think of anything more atrocious than what we've just heard and seen. But, a case like this with perpetrators that are 9 and 10 years old puts the criminal justice system, the juvenile justice system in a really difficult position, right? This is a terrible act of violence, sexual violence against a little girl. But we're also talking about 2 children themselves whose brains are not fully developed and who it kind of begs the question, what has been happening to these 2 children?
Exactly. What have they been going through to make them even know how to do this kind of shit to begin with?
In their home or in their environment, that they even know how to perpetrate or could even conceive of perpetrating these types of acts of violence. And so we've got 3 children here who are in crisis. My heart breaks for that mom, for this little girl who's never going to be the same. And at the same time, I have to think about the parents of the 2 children who perpetrated this kind of horrific violence on another child. What is going on? And the difficult part is going to be to hold them accountable for their violent acts, but also make sure that the best interests of all of these children are served. It's tough.
Carmen, obviously they won't be locked up for the rest of their lives. That's not going to happen. They're going to be out when they're very young. But my main concern is always safety. Safety first, the safety of the community. How can we ensure that the community will be safe from this 9 and 10-year-old for the next 50 years?
You know, Vinny, this case is fascinating because it's unbelievable, unimaginable, but it's also fascinating because they don't charge 9-year-olds generally in Ohio. If this offense occurred in Texas, there would be no charges because we don't charge children who are under 10 years old. But more important,
Nope, we sure don't. You got to be 10 and above.
you think about it like, how do we establish competency for a 9-year-old and a 10-year-old? How do we hold them responsible? And does the juvenile justice system in any state, but in Ohio as well, have the ability to even handle this matter? And obviously everyone wants justice. They want help for these kids. They want to see some sort of consequences, rehabilitation.
I mean, Jinx, it might not be the parents. It could be grandparents. It could be an aunt. It could be an uncle. It could be a pastor. It could be anyone close to the family. It could be a teacher. It could be, I mean, I don't know. These days, there's a ton of possibilities, unfortunately.
And counseling, all the things. But can that happen inside this facility? And as we watch this, we're going to learn for the first time what you do with a 9-year-old who may or may not even know right from wrong, much less be able to establish competency to go forward and be heard on charges.
Yeah, I don't think, the element of punishment here, you can talk about it, and I understand it from the mom's perspective, wanting justice. Then I'd look at the reality of it. We know that they're not going to be, we know that they're coming back into society. We know that they are damaged already. And I'm wondering if our system needs a little bit of a redo in how to do this and how to protect society at the same time.
Look at that. 1 count of attempted murder, 4 counts of rape, 2 counts of felonious assault, 1 count of kidnapping, 1 count of strangulation. That's crazy for a 9 and 10-year-old. That is absolutely insane. And the next video, Lord have mercy on our souls, but we're almost through with this one. It'll go a little bit more into detail about these charges.
Time that you are trying to some level of accountability, but and making them as, I'm not going to say better, because they're not going to be. I don't think this 9 and 10-year-old can.
This happened all in one time, Nikki. They took her out into a field and they did all this to her. They left her there, unclothed and unresponsive.
Be completely healed because there's something terribly wrong there, but get them to the point where they may be able to be with other people in society. This is so difficult. This is one that's, I think, stumps our system and stumps the host of the show tonight, Lori.
I think it's extremely difficult. When I was first looking at this story, you run the gamut of the emotions on it as an attorney, and what kind of system that we have that can take care of this. And you said a reboot to the system. I don't know that we have a system in place at all for dealing with this. And there are other kids that were involved in this that were younger that are not being charged.
Wow.
So those kids aren't out there.
Did you hear that? There are other kids besides the 9 and 10-year-old that are younger than the 9 and 10-year-old that were involved that they're not even talking about because they're younger. So let that sink in. It's going to be heartbreaking if when it comes out that the sex fix tried to ask for help. Yeah. So y'all heard that, right? It was a little gang of kids. A little gang of kids in which some of were younger than 9 and 10. So.
And they're not being punished, which goes to her, I want justice, and I just don't know that you'll get it in the way that she wants it.
All right. So that's the first video. This is important. You've got to talk to your children. You've got to look at their phones. You've got to check in on them. You've got to, at that young age, they shouldn't have phones. They shouldn't have technology. They shouldn't have social media. But we've got these parents these days, and they're just like, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, whatever. If they're going to have these things, you've got to be proactive and talk to them, pay attention to them, look at their friend groups, check the conversations that they're having, be a helicopter parent. It doesn't matter if your kids don't like you. Your kids don't need to like you. You're supposed to be their parent, not their friend. And maybe some of this stuff can be de-escalated. Like, the only thing that makes me feel like this happened is because someone in those group of kids had something happen to them, and they said, hey, look what I know. And they were that damaged that they wanted to inflict that upon someone else. And that's absolutely heartbreaking. Let me get this next video up here. Thank you guys for sticking this out. I know this is a really hard story, but after this is the last video, and then we're gonna get back into the Shanda Vander Ark stuff.
And as we told you before, as we follow this story, it is difficult. And we want to warn you, what you are about to hear is disturbing, and it might not be appropriate for children in the room.
Last week, we were there when a judge ordered the 10-year-old to be placed under house arrest with an ankle monitor. And today, the boy appeared in court for his arraignment. News 5's Nadine Abasada has been on this story from the beginning.
All rise.
Thursday, Antavia Kinnebrew appeared in juvenile court once again, asking the judge that the second child accused of assaulting her 5-year-old daughter in a field is not given mercy.
I do not believe that these kids should be able to return home. Their behavior that caused them to do something so evil obviously started at home. These kids being at home doesn't give them a chance to think about the damage they have done to my daughter.
The 9-year-old boy and the 10-year-old girl are both facing charges, including attempted murder, rape, felonious assault, kidnapping, and strangulation.
Mr. Borkowski, how does your client plead?
Your Honor, this time he denies the allegations in the complaint.
Okay. Are we really gonna do this right now? Are we gonna deny some actions?
Bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
Okay.
In court, the boy appeared with 2 family members by his side. Judge Kristen Sweeney granted a competency evaluation for the child at the request of the defense.
Does the prosecutor's office have any objection to that motion?
No objection, Your Honor.
The defense then requested the minor be allowed to go home.
My client is 9 years old, no prior adjudications. I would ask that he be released to his family.
The prosecution countered, asking for home detention as well as an ankle monitor.
Again, this case resulted in a 5-year-old being left naked, beaten, urinated upon, in the field and left for hours.
I'm not going to repeat that, but did you hear that?
Ankle monitor.
Again, this case resulted in a 5-year-old being left naked, beaten, urinated upon in the field, and left for hours.
How do these children know to do that? And why would they do that to another little girl?
They are not held accountable for anything. These kids did something horrible. They changed my daughter's life. The way she talk, the way she act, the way she thinks, they stole her innocence, and it's time for them to start facing the consequences of their actions. Period.
Judge Sweeney ordered that the 9.
She said, period. You know, when I was a kid, I got bullied a lot, but it was, someone pulled my hair when they were sitting behind me, or, they would laugh, point, call me names. They wouldn't let me hang out, outside with them on the playground, or I couldn't eat lunch with somebody, But this is a whole different level of bullying. When you got to high school, it got a little worse. People made rumors about you, things escalated a little bit, but this is a whole different type. This is beyond that. I have no words. I have no words.
Year-old be placed.
No, Junior, she did not. She did not.
On house arrest with an ankle monitor and requested that the county get involved.
I am just going to put this on the record too. The court will be asking the county to do an investigation. Children and Family Services to be doing.
Absolutely, as she should, because she knows that this ain't right. Something is not right. She said there's going to be an investigation done because this didn't just occur out of nowhere. These kids just didn't wake up one day and know how to do all this shit. My best friend pretended to be my secret admirer the whole time and wrote me letters. And I was, oh, that's sad.
An investigation in this matter. And that's all I'm going to say about that at the present time.
So now the 9-year-old will undergo a competency evaluation, just like we told you last week, involving the 10-year-old girl in this same case. What's going to happen in December? The attorney is going to meet with the judge and discuss the progress of that evaluation. Then a hearing could follow next year, possibly as early as January. Reporting in Cleveland, Nazina Busada, News 5.
So where we're at right now with this is that these kids are being evaluated right now for competency for court to see if they understand what's going on, and how they're going to proceed next. I have not. Yeah, that's what I was wondering too, because they could have very well gone on the internet and found some really weird stuff that they shouldn't have seen. So I don't want to directly just put it on the parents right away or the family right away. My girls grew up with Barney, right, And I think that our generation grew up a lot different. Well, I know we grew up a lot differently than the kids are these days. When when we were kids, we didn't have all this technology and stuff that they've got today. So, I mean, there's definitely a chance that they got online and saw some shit that they shouldn't have seen. Let me double check and make sure that I've got um all the notes on those. Oh, that's not it. Nope, that was from a different case. Okay. Yeah, I think that's just about all we know. Okay. Nope, I got him right here. So, the 10-year-old girl was previously placed on home detention with electronic monitoring, and the 9-year-old boy had issues appearing in court earlier, and the judge warned about consequences if he missed hearings again. So, I don't know if that continued being an issue. The incident happened in September 2025. So, Junior, that should answer your question right there. The outcome of the competency hearings is the next major turning point. After that, the judge will decide whether the case proceeds normally in juvenile court or shifts towards treatment, rehabilitation, and focuses on that. Essentially right now, everything's paused until they come back with that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You hear of the group that makes you do bad things to other people. The group has numbers in the name set. Oh, you know what? I did hear about that. They're based in Texas, aren't they? Aren't they based in Texas? I feel like Z did something on them the other night. Group 7 something. What is it? Group 7 targeting kids. 764. And yeah, it's yeah, it's out of Texas, and that's actually a zip code. Yeah, 764. It was a Discord group, and that 764 is actually a Texas zip code. I heard about them. I think that Z did a live about that not too long ago. And if I had a mod in here, mods, you're all in trouble. Oh my God. I literally added Frank as a mod because I didn't have any mods in here the other day. And now I don't even have Frank. Where are you all at? All of you get detention. All of you. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Okay. Yeah, they were. That's crazy. Yeah, you can't. These kids online, man. All right. Are you guys ready to get into what we're here for, which is the Shanda Vander Ark and the book Arrest? And I cannot speak today. Oh my goodness. Jinx, I told you I was having a day. I'm having a day today. So we've got the arrest and booking video, which is kind of funny. And then we've got the opening statements, which both combined together is about, I think, 40 minutes long. It's not too long. So if I don't talk too much and can shut the hell up for a little while, we can get through this. All right. So first, let's play this little tribute. Yeah, no one's right. Daria, he was handsome. He was so cute when he was little. He was handsome as he got older. And I've got to say, you guys, I saw some TikTok videos over this past week of Timothy in the closet before he passed away. And seeing those, after seeing those, and now, because I've been putting all these videos together, seeing Shanda on the stand and listening to her voice and her excuses, and seeing Paul, it makes it 50 a million times worse. It's something that I'm not going to show you. It's something that I'll never unsee that. It's probably one of the worst things that I've ever seen. When the judge said that he looked like a Holocaust victim, he did. It was really bad. If that's something that you want to see just for yourself, I have the videos. You can message me on Discord. I can show them to you, or you can go on TikTok and just type in Timothy Ferguson closet videos, and they're there. And they are real. They're not fake. And this woman is an absolute monster. The jury got it right the first time. And I have a 99.9999999% chance. I'm pretty sure that this judge is not going to give her a new trial. There's no way. There's no way. I'll lose all faith. I'll lose all faith. So let's get into this.
Probably concerned about her 20-year-old son.
Oh, okay.
So that's what that was about. So please, take care of yourself. He's a respectful officer. He's assured me he's going to do a medical screening. I know you got medical problems. You have to take good care of yourself. This is a manageable.
Can you guys hear that? Remember, I always try to boost the volume as much as I can on these videos.
Problem. The law says you're presumed innocent. You know that. Okay? So don't assume the worst. Assume the best. Okay? But take care of yourself. I'll be back in touch with you as soon as I can. Okay? I do have to go. I'm heading out of state right now, but I'm back tomorrow. Okay. And as soon as I get more concrete information, I'll come see you. Okay? Thank you. Good. Please take care of yourself. You got any property you want me to take possession of? Because you can't keep anything in here.
I've got my ID. I mean, I don't.
You should keep that.
Yeah, you should bring that with you.
House keys. Paul doesn't know where another set is.
Pardon?
He doesn't know where another set of keys is.
Okay. Should I give them? You want me to give them to Paul?
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, if I take this.
Yeah, I can do that.
I'll take them. I want you. It's okay with you.
That's fine.
I don't think I have anything. I didn't bring anything. I was just cold.
Please take care of yourself. You'll be okay.
Try.
I think that this is an attorney. It's not the one that is with her in court, though. I'm not sure if this is an original attorney or what. I'm not quite sure.
Okay. The officer's going to take you back.
I'll bring you back here. I'll tell you everything that's going on. Or what I've been instructed to do. All right, thanks, sir. Appreciate it. All right, you're going to be charged with child abuse right now. I believe it's the first or second degree. So it is a felony. So you won't be able to get out of jail until you see the judge, until the warrant paperwork's down there, okay? Which will probably be tomorrow. All right.
Sorry.
No, I'm I'm the bearer of bad news right now. You know? Yeah, it's been a bad couple days.
Bad 6 months. I had a stroke 6 months ago.
Sorry. Nope, you're all right. I do have to handcuff you, but I'll do it in the front.
My blood sugar crashes. I need that.
Are you diabetic?
I'm reactive hypoglycemic.
Okay. Do you take medication for that?
No. I have a service dog normally, but I didn't bring him.
Yeah.
For good reason.
All right. I can let you have that all the way up until the jail. But the jail won't let you bring in any kind of food or nothing. So if you want to drink it, you can always drink it now.
Just worried I won't keep it to my stomach.
All right.
I haven't been able to keep anything down.
No.
The last
I don't want you puking then if you're going to try to drink it.
I can try. We'll see. I don't know.
All right. So I got my handcuffs on you. I'm going to do it in the front because I know you're not going to give me any problems. But we're going to have to go down there. Pardon?
I don't have the strength to do anything. I wouldn't anyway. But did y'all lose an officer?
But I have to cover you.
Did y'all lose somebody?
Yes, a Detroit officer was killed yesterday.
I'm so sorry.
Yep. Come this way. I need you. I want to see if there's a girl here to check your pockets. All right, let's come over and sit down. Relax for a second, because like I said, I'm the bearer of bad news. I know. Just have a seat for a second. Relax.
I'm sorry. Trash can. Trash can. I don't have anything in my stomach. I'm sorry.
You're all right. Do what you got to do.
Yeah. They're really, really nice to her. It's, no thank you. I just added a poll if you guys want to take it.
Hey, you see my message? Yeah, I'm in the squad room. Would you be willing to come down here and pat her down? I also need to know what the specific charge is. All right? Thanks. Bye.
I'm sorry.
You're fine. Detective Alm's coming down here. I think he's one of the female detectives that was at the house yesterday.
I don't remember names. I'm sorry.
Did they say like first degree, second degree?
That was Matt.
All right.
I know that's right, Junior.
Okay.
I wouldn't be very nice to her.
All right, Shanda, I have to search you before you're taken to the county, okay?
Shanda.
Sorry.
She shouldn't have anything on her except for ID, but I didn't want to have to do it, so.
I'm sorry.
You able to stand up there, Lou?
It's not like I have anything left in my stomach.
Yeah. Luckily.
Just pull this this up a little bit, okay?
Yeah. I might have a tissue on there.
Mm-hmm. Can you stand up for me just a little bit?
Sorry. You're not catching me.
I do have to go under your brow, okay? So
It's just a camisole, just so you know.
no bra?
No, I just wear these. I don't have a whole heck of a lot to hide anyway, and they're comfortable.
Can you stand up straight for me?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I don't have anything else to tell you, but
Heart for me, please.
sorry.
No, you need to take them off. You'll have to take them off when you get to the county.
My favorite part is when she starts getting frisked up against the wall. She's breathing all heavy. She is so uncomfortable.
Another search, okay?
My rings.
They'll take those. Okay, you can stand up. I'll take this out and I'll try to put it back in for you. Sorry, this is not going to be super fashionable.
I didn't pay any attention this morning. I didn't even brush it.
You can put it back up, with, especially with being cuffed in the front, for sure.
Okay. You want to take ID?
Oh yeah, that'll help me out a lot. We're gonna take off now. You ready? You gonna be okay? All right.
No problems. I'm not going to gag anymore.
All right. We're gonna come right through here. Go back to my cruiser. Yeah, it's super warm, unfortunately. I'll turn the AC on when we get there.
You don't have to turn on much.
Really?
As long as it's a little cooler than this, it'll be just fine.
I'm gonna see closer in. The good part is that you're handcuffed in front, so it's a little bit, it's much more comfortable.
Who's worried about her being comfortable? Have they not heard what she's getting arrested for? Do they not realize that she made her child uncomfortable and everything that she did to him? Sir.
What'd you do with your?
Fell behind me.
Oh.
Gotta leave it there. What do I do with it?
Yeah, I just gotta throw it away somewhere. Just, we can leave it there. That's fine.
Sorry.
Oh, you're right. I just wanted to give you this chance to, if you wanted to drink it or not.
That's a good idea.
Not from all the gagging.
All the giggling.
Just hang tight for a second. We're good. I wouldn't advise it not to. This is not a clean place. Right here, that was. Yeah.
Sorry, just go ahead.
No, you're fine. I'm gonna take your temperature. This is touchless, so 96.5.
I usually run 97 even, so.
Really? That's a little bit lower than normal. Most. There's a lot of people ask, like, what the?
Yeah, when they see 98.6, they think, oh, that's good. I'm like, no, it's not.
An hour later.
I got your ID here.
It's taking forever.
I'm sorry.
I told y'all. I got the soundboard now. Look, y'all. Where's it at?
A bullshit? A bullshit?
Can y'all hear that?
A bullshit. A bullshit.
Detector test determined that was a lie.
Brother,
See, I have trouble hearing these on my end because I have StreamYard open. And you guys can hear it, and I know I'm going to be able to hear it on the replay, but I can't hear them very
1
well.
hour later.
Hello, princess.
Anyways. Well.
That's all right.
Yes. I learned how to upload the sound effects. Could you hear them though? Did they come through clear? Because I can't hear all of them. I can only hear some of them. My favorite one is the Maury. The lie detector determined that was a lie. I think that one and the bullshit are gonna be my most. Those two are gonna be the ones used the most. But seriously, 1 hour later.
All right, I'm gonna take them cuffs off. You gotta put everything in this bag here, including all your jewelry.
All I've got stuff.
Pardon?
All I've got stuff.
Okay,
Okay, I'm lightheaded. I'm sorry.
that's right.
Oh, poor baby. Poor baby.
Can you just sit all you sit?
I'm trying not to. Oh my gosh.
You have a shirt on underneath there? You have to take your sweatshirt off, but you have to keep it. It just makes it easier to search you.
Okay. But I get to keep it.
Yes.
Okay.
You probably won't be able to keep the headband, though. They usually make...
What about the scrunchie?
Probably not.
Seriously. So much drink. This woman. Oh, you gotta feel sorry for the baby.
Anything that you might be able to hurt yourself with, they take automatically.
Take the shoelaces, take anything and everything, take from this woman. Don't let her hurt herself.
Yeah, I know. Belts and stuff like that, shoelaces. All right.
Shoelaces, like I said.
What kind of shoes you got?
They're basics.
All right. Here, I'll have to take them in a little bit here.
Is Gisela done with her stream yet? Because I feel like people should be popping over now. Because I know y'all was cheating on me with Gisela because the Athena Strand trial is about to start, and I know Gisela was doing her trial prep at the same time that I started. I almost canceled my stream because I wanted to watch it, to be honest with you, but no, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna watch it afterwards. But I am really ready for that trial. And if you don't know it, I'm going to be covering a little bit of it. I can't play full trials. And by the way, we are not watching this full trial. I'm going to be playing the, I've got to go. I'll watch what I'm, okay. Thank you, Junior. Have a good day. Don't think she'll have the balls to, yeah, probably not. I think she's too much of a narcissist to do that. But what I'm going to do is we're going to play the opening statements. We're going to play Shanda on the stand. We're going to play Paul testifying against her. Then we might do closing statements. Then we're going to do her sentencing. And then we're going to do Paul Ferguson's, all his stuff. So we're going to cut out a lot of the trial. If you want to watch the full trial, child, go find it on your own because I'm having one hell of a time trying to just get these videos in order because for whatever reason, they wanted to make this trial very difficult to watch. It is all chopped up. And just to get all of Shonda's parts of her being on the stand was all like 6 different videos that I had to put into order. It was like a puzzle I had to solve. And I think I finally got it together. But yeah, we're just going to do it this way. And then we're going to do Ferguson's sentencing. And then we're going to get into Shonda's 2 brand new hearings. And then that should be it. Hopefully we find out whether or not she's going to get a new trial. And then we're just going to go from there. But that's pretty much going to be it. And how I'm going to do this because to play that entire trial would be a nightmare and it would take a long time. I don't have the patience to sit through an entire trial, like to stream one. I could sit through an entire trial, but on my own pace.
But I like to have them keep it on you as long as possible. So,
girl, I'm still. Getting it together is not my forte.
Because the floor is cold.
It is cold in here.
Yep, that's why it's actually good. It's good that you got the sweatshirt. Looks like she's already coming. So go ahead and slip your shoes off there.
Or just shoes?
Just shoes. You get to keep your socks. Yep.
Ugh.
Brother,
No one wants to smell that.
Hey.
Howdy.
What's going on?
Long time no see you.
I know, right?
Hey.
Let's try not to come here.
I know, right? I need you to take your hairband off for me too as well.
She has a scrunchie also.
Yep, they gotta come out as well.
It's gonna be this one right here. This lady right here would scare the shit out of me. I'd be like, yes, ma'am. What you need me to do? Okay. Shit. She said, go on and take it all off.
She's feeling a little lightheaded.
She said, you got something wrong with you? Yeah, she does.
My stomach's really upset. Oh, is it? Oh, okay. All right. Vander Ark, do you have any other last names?
What's my maiden name?
What's your maiden name?
Ramsey.
You do drugs?
No.
She said, you do drugs. This lady, oh my God. Jinx, where's Frank? Is he still in a food coma from his Easter fest? What is going on? His Easter feast? What is going on?
I haven't been able to keep an
Where the frick are all my mods?
eating down since yesterday.
She's had a rough 2 days.
Okay.
Her 15-year-old son died yesterday, and she's charged with child abuse.
Okay.
So she has a lot of medical problems, but she really doesn't take any medication. But she does need
Any mental health issues at all? ADHD?
OCD, and
OCD just
sensory.
means she's clicking one spot over and over again, is it?
Sometimes.
That's actually one form, it's not the form.
I know what OCD is.
She does have, she says, allergy-induced asthma, so she can't wear masks.
I had a doctor's note, I didn't bring it with me, I didn't know.
I hate to tell you this is not school. Doctor notes do not work. We have our own doctors, and they will deal with you on that.
And then she does have asthma, so she might need.
And she said that doctor's note is not gonna work here. We got our own doctor. Oh, shit.
Albuterol as an emergency,
Do you have a prescription for albuterol?
Ventolin, albuterol.
You can place your hands up there. That's going to be harmless. Spread your legs. Spread your legs, sorry.
I'm sorry.
There, just like the hands. There you go. There's pictures on the wall for you, my dear.
I'm not.
That's all right. You've never done this before, so.
You ain't got no bra?
No, we're just very comfortable. It's more comfortable. I don't have much holding.
She's so uncomfortable. She looks short, because I feel like I'm 5'2". It looks like those things is all the way up there. I'd be like stretching. Her breathing. You think her breathing seems fine? Maybe it's maybe, I don't know, maybe it's the way it's playing through the video. If you watch like the regular video, like she's all breathing heavy in and out, in and out.
Ready to sit up?
Can I put it down?
When I get done.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you put your leg down.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Ready to sit up? You take your hands down. You can lift. Open your mouth and see your tongue. Lift your tongue.
I took her temperature. It's 96.
I saw that.
Oh, sweet. I didn't know if we started doing that or not.
What?
Temperature.
Yep. You could grab your shoes.
I kind of made a mess of the booking sheet, but I fixed it. I just put stuff in the wrong spot.
First, second, third, fourth.
They just said the felony, which would be first, I believe. And I asked specifically, I said, what charge? And they said child abuse. I'm like, there's like a whole bunch of them. So.
All right.
Go ahead, follow her.
You can grab.
All right. So that's all that is. And then they take her on back and do the rest of the processing. I'm sure they do all the fingerprints and all that good stuff. So, y'all ready to get into the good stuff? I think that the prosecution does a great job at this. Now, the poor defense, listen. This defense attorney, he didn't have a lot to work with, okay? Everybody needs a job, and this man did what he could. And when we go to watch her new hearings, he actually takes the stand. He's actually goes on the stand because now he's being questioned because she says that she didn't get a fair trial because her lawyer was incompetent. So now, yeah. So we'll get into this.
The defendant is charged with first-degree felony murder. To prove this charge, the prosecutor must prove each of the following elements.
Video is, hold on one second, so you guys, I could tell you. Okay. This video is about 32 minutes. So.
Beyond a reasonable doubt. First, that the defendant caused the death of Timothy Ferguson. That is, that Timothy Ferguson died as a result.
And we might do a new poll at the end of this and see whether or not whoever said that y'all think she's gonna get a new trial, whether or not you change your mind.
Both of starvation and or physical neglect and abuse. Second, that the defendant had one of these three states of mind. She intended to kill, or she intended to do great bodily harm to Timothy Ferguson, or she knowingly created a very high risk of death or great bodily harm, knowing that death or such harm would be the likely result of her actions. Third, that when she did the act that caused the death of Timothy Ferguson, the defendant was committing or attempting to commit or helping someone else commit the crime of first-degree child abuse. For the crime.
Hi, good to see you, love. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I am 99.999999999% sure that she's not going to get a new trial. I'm doing opening statements right now, and then next week I'm going to start with her on the stand. So, yeah. This is all we have left for today, and this is about 32 minutes long. But thank you for joining. And if everyone can hit that like button for me, I would appreciate it. Thank you.
For first-degree child abuse, the prosecutor must prove each of the following elements beyond a reasonable doubt. First, that Shanda Vander Ark is the parent of Timothy Ferguson. Second, that the defendant either knowingly or intentionally caused serious physical harm and or serious mental harm to Timothy Ferguson. By serious physical harm, I mean any physical injury to a child that seriously impairs the child's health or physical well-being, including but not limited to brain damage, a skull or bone fracture, subdural hemorrhage or hematoma, dislocation, sprain, internal injury, poisoning, burn, or scald or severe cut. By serious mental harm, I mean an injury to a child's mental condition that results in visible signs of an impairment in the child's.
Jinx, I added you as a mod for right now since none of my mods are in chat. Actually, speaking of which, I'm going to remove that. Hey, Mark, good to see you. I'm going to start it again, but I'd just like to, this right here, official detention slip, official Sleuthy Sweetheart detention slip for my mods that didn't show up today. Yay, she's in blue. Yeah, you're getting written up. You're in trouble. Gonna crack the ruler down. All right. Anyways, let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. Yeah, I know. I'm ridiculous. All right. Let's
This charge with first-degree felony murder.
hold on. We were like right here.
Wife. Third, that Timothy Ferguson was at the time under the
Yeah,
age of
you're
18.
finally out of detention, Jinx.
The fourth element in first-degree felony murder is that the killing was not justified, excused, or done under circumstances that reduce it to a lesser crime. In determining whether the act causing death occurred while the defendant was committing or attempting to commit or helping someone else commit the crime of first-degree child abuse, you should consider the following: the length of time between the commission of first-degree child abuse and the murder. Second, the distance between the scene of first-degree child abuse and the scene of the murder. Third, whether there is a causal connection between the murder and first-degree child abuse. Fourth, whether there is a continuity of action between first-degree child abuse and the murder. And fifth, whether the murder was committed during an attempt to escape. You may also consider the lesser charge of second-degree murder. To prove this charge, the prosecutor must prove each of the following elements beyond a reasonable doubt. First, that the defendant caused the death of Timothy Ferguson. That is, that Timothy Ferguson died as a result of starvation and or physical neglect and abuse. Second, that the defendant had one of these three states of mind. She intended to kill, or she intended to do great bodily harm to Timothy Ferguson, or she knowingly created a very high risk of death or great bodily harm, knowing that death or such harm would be the likely result of her actions. Third, that the killing was not justified, excused, or done under circumstances that reduce it to a lesser crime. The defendant is charged with the crime of first-degree child abuse. To prove this charge, the prosecutor must prove each of the following elements beyond a reasonable doubt. First, that Shanda Vander Ark is the parent of Timothy Ferguson. Second, that the defendant either knowingly or intentionally caused serious physical harm and or serious mental harm to Timothy Ferguson. By serious physical harm, I mean any physical injury to a child that seriously impairs the child's health or physical well-being, including but not limited to brain damage, a skull or bone fracture, subdural hemorrhage or hematoma, dislocation, sprain, internal injury, poisoning, burn, or scald or severe cut. By serious mental harm, I mean an injury to a child's mental condition that results in visible signs of an impairment in the child's judgment, behavior, ability to recognize reality, or ability to cope with it.
Yes, she is. She's chewing gum in court, and I don't know when that became a thing where people are allowed to chew gum in court, but I feel like that's just an old school thing where it's very disrespectful. Is that her older son next to her? No, I don't think Paul's here right now. Hi Karen, welcome back. Or were you already, have you been here? Or did you come back? Sorry, I'm a mess right now. She looks like she's, oh yeah, she's so fucking miserable. Sorry. Excuse my French. Yeah, she's completely narcissistic. Do you guys want me to skip this part and just get to the opening statements? Do you guys want to just skip this?
Ordinary.
Let me know. And I'll just bypass this and we can get to it. You like the opening? Okay. All right. So we will continue playing this.
Demands of life. Third, that Timothy Ferguson was at the time under the age of 18. It is not a crime to discipline a child. A parent, guardian, or any person otherwise allowed by law or authorized by the parent or guardian may use force to discipline a child. But this does not mean that any amount of force may be used. The law permits only such force as is reasonable. The defendant is not required to prove that the acts alleged here were reasonable. The prosecutor must prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the force used was not reasonable as discipline.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, on behalf of the people of the state of Michigan, I want to thank you for your time and attention to these matters. We certainly had some lighthearted moments yesterday during the jury selection process, and there's nothing wrong with that. But as Mr. Johnson and I repeatedly told you yesterday, and this is not in any way an overstatement of this, the facts and circumstances here are just simply horrific. I wish that I could spare you from some of the details in this case, but I cannot. Quite simply, it is the position of the people of the state of Michigan that Shanda Vander Ark committed the crime of first-degree felony murder when, during the course of physical and mental abuse in the first degree of her child, Timothy Ferguson died. As we referenced many times yesterday, unfortunately, as part of this process, you will see some very graphic photographs. Images that will not easily leave your mind. But I don't want you to focus on just those photographs, as I repeatedly told you yesterday. I want you to look at the entire picture here. I will tell you this, the entire picture is just as horrific. The average 15-year-old male weighs 132 pounds and is 68 inches tall. At the time of his death, Timothy Ferguson was right on that average height, 68 inches tall. At the time of his death, Timothy Ferguson weighed 69 pounds. How does this happen? How does a 15-year-old child die as a result of malnutrition? How is a 15-year-old child 63 pounds under the average weight? How is a 15-year-old child in literally the 0th percentile for weight? How? The how of this begins to unfold on July 6th of 2022 when police officers from the Norton Shores Police Department are dispatched to 4788 Marshall Road in Norton Shores. The first officer on scene is there. ProMed's already on scene, and they've already found Timothy Ferguson deceased in the basement level of that home. You're going to see photographs of that home. It's a bi-level home, and Timothy Ferguson is in the basement of that home. By the time the officer arrives, Timothy Ferguson is deceased and has been deceased for some time. It's immediately obvious to ProMed, just as it is to Officer Stefanich, who you will hear from this morning, that Timothy Ferguson is severely malnourished. Now, there's another layer of mystery that is discovered the next day as it relates to the cause of death of Timothy Ferguson. And you will hear from the medical examiner that in addition to the severe malnourishment that caused his death, Timothy Ferguson also showed signs of hypothermia. How does a 15-year-old child in Michigan in July have hypothermia? The pieces of that puzzle start to unfold as the police investigation does. Officer Stefanich begins to notice, in addition to the shocking image of Timothy Ferguson deceased, other things unusual in the home. There's leg cuffs in the basement.
Hey,
There's
Ruckus.
cameras everywhere.
Hey, Ruckus. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. We just started opening statements.
There's hot sauce in the bathroom. Upstairs in the upper level of the home,
Hey, Simi.
there's
Good to
locks
see
on the
you.
refrigerator and the freezer.
Hey,
More
hey, hey.
cameras, motion sensors, alarms, everywhere in the house. And in the basement, as if part of some demented version of Harry Potter, there's a small closet, again with an alarm on the door. Inside that closet, a blue tarp just laying on the floor in a small box. That room, as officers later come to learn,
And I'm going to tell you guys again, after seeing the actual video that I saw on TikTok of Timothy in that condition, I already saw this trial once, and getting all of this together again, watching it again, I see it completely different now. And like, it's something that I can't even describe. And the video that I saw was him in the closet on the tarp, Paul yelling at him in a demonic voice, like, hurry, come on, get out of there. And he's trying. You could see that he's trying, but he has no, like, there's no muscle, there's no energy. He can't get up. And all of a sudden, you just see him being yanked out of the closet within a millisecond. And then seconds later, you see Shanda putting him back in the closet, saying he's acting like an idiot, and positioning him and moving his head, saying, don't move your head, because if you do, we'll know. Because they had an alarm, a wire alarm on his head, so if he moved, it would go off. It was the worst thing that I have ever seen in my entire life, and I can't ever unsee it.
It's called the small room. That was Timothy Ferguson's bedroom. That's where he was.
Simi, those videos are absolutely horrific. Horrific. There's no punishment enough. Like, she deserves everything bad coming to her in life. She deserves the absolute worst.
Forced to sleep. The leg cuffs, also for Timothy Ferguson. The cameras, also for Timothy Ferguson. To watch his every movement. His every movement monitored by his mother on those cameras. The bathroom camera. Who puts a camera in a bathroom? The bathroom camera is literally a motion tracking camera, and the officer notices as soon as he walks into the bathroom that the camera starts to follow his motion. Again, hot sauce in the bathroom. Why is there hot sauce in the bathroom? These are all questions at the time the police officers have, but they have no explanation for most of it. All they know is that Timothy Ferguson died as a result of malnutrition. As is obvious to anybody that would just see him, look at him. So Officer Stefanich starts to ask some questions. And Ms. Vander Ark says, well,
Simi, the bathroom camera, yeah, it was there for the reasoning of his bathroom timing. So I think he had like a certain amount of seconds to pee, and then he had like 2 minutes to go number 2. He had a set time. So the cameras were monitoring him. And then she was also monitoring to make sure that Paul was giving him the ice baths, and he was being monitored in the ice baths and the showers and whatnot. There was no curtains, so there was absolutely no privacy whatsoever. Zero, none, zilch.
he's been on a hunger strike for the last couple of weeks. He hasn't been eating.
Yeah.
And I noticed last night he wasn't eating really good, so I made him some toast with some peanut butter, or some butter on it, and I made him eat it, and then he went to bed. And then more detectives become involved
I'm like
in
over
the
here rocking
investigation.
my knee. I'm so mad.
And more statements coming out from Ms. Vander Ark about some of the unusual things in the home. The leg cuffs. Oh, those are Paul Ferguson. Paul Ferguson is the older boy that lives in the house. He's 19 at the time. And you're going to hear from Paul Ferguson. And I'm just going to tell you right now, you're not going to like Paul Ferguson. I don't like Paul Ferguson. Paul Ferguson was a contributing factor to the death of his brother.
And I've said things about Paul Ferguson that hunger strike pissed me off too. Oh my God. Simi, I don't know if you've seen the new hearings. I'm going to play those last. Oh my God. The blame game is absolutely ridiculous. I can't roll my eyes any harder. But I had at one point, even just recently in my life, had some kind of sympathy for Paul because I felt like maybe he was a victim. But now I'm seeing videos of him doing like kung fu moves, like karate moves and shit in the living room by himself and just having a grand old time. And like he did work in a restaurant. So I don't know why he wasn't bringing food home. And the way that I heard his voice and the way he screamed and yelled at Timothy in the videos, it was so demonic. It wasn't like, okay, come on, we got to do this. I know it sucks, but come on, there was no remorse in his voice whatsoever. So I don't know. I don't like Timothy Ferguson. So what he's saying, or not, I'm sorry, not Timothy Paul Ferguson. I don't like Paul Ferguson whatsoever. I don't think that I can stand up for him anymore. I don't think that I can say that I think that he was a victim too.
What you will come to learn is that what Paul Ferguson was the strong arm for the defendant. When she wanted a punishment
100%.
inflicted upon Timothy, she used Paul to do it. And Paul did it. And he will tell you that he did those things.
And that says a lot, Simi. That says a lot because I was literally just saying, oh, but I think he's a victim too. I think, da, 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 da. I was really trying to, not say that what he did was right, but I was trying to, give him a little bit of, leeway there. And now seeing what I saw, it's completely gone. Yeah.
And he will tell you he is remorseful about
I'm
it.
sorry. Let me go back a little bit because I keep pausing it. I'm sorry.
The bathroom camera. Who puts a camera in a bathroom? The bathroom camera is literally a motion tracking camera, and the officer notices as soon as he walks into the bathroom that the camera starts to follow his motion. Again, hot sauce in the bathroom. Why is there hot sauce in the bathroom? These are all questions at the time the police officers have, but they have no explanation for most of it. All they know is that Timothy Ferguson died as a result of malnutrition. As is obvious to anybody that would just see him, look at him. So Officer Stefanich starts to ask some questions. And Ms. Vander Ark says, well, he's been on a hunger strike for the last couple of weeks. He hasn't been eating. And I noticed last night he wasn't eating really good, so I made him some toast with some peanut butter, or some butter on it, and I made him eat it, and then he went to bed.
A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit?
And then more detectives become involved in the investigation. And more statements coming out from Ms. Vander Ark about some of the unusual things in the home. The leg cuffs. Oh, those are Paul Ferguson. Paul Ferguson is the older boy that lives in the house. He's 19.
I do think that he was somewhat abused. I think that she probably mentally abused him as well. I think that he was somewhat under her spell and he wanted her approval and all this, but if I was in jail with her, I'd buy hot sauce. Simi, oh my God, that's fucking great. I love it. That right there, that was great. But yeah, no, Mark, I absolutely do think that to an extent he was, and that's what my argument was, and somewhat trying to defend him. And this is why transparency is so important, and Do we want to see these videos? No. But when you do, all this stuff is so much clearer. Your eyes are opened and you're like, holy shit. Holy shit. Like this, like I can't even explain how my mind shifted.
19 at the time. And you're going to hear from Paul Ferguson. And I'm just going to tell you right now, you're not going to like Paul Ferguson. I don't like Paul Ferguson. Paul Ferguson was a contributing factor to the death of his brother. What you will come to learn is that what Paul Ferguson was the strong arm for the defendant. When she wanted a punishment inflicted upon Timothy, she used Paul to do it. And Paul did it. And he will tell you that he did those things. And he will tell you he is remorseful about those things. As he should be. Because the mental and physical abuse that those two individuals inflicted upon Timothy Ferguson over the course of multiple months, from February of 2022 until the time of his death in July, caused his death. For all intents and purposes, Timothy Ferguson was a prisoner in his own home. He never went to a doctor. He never went to school. The only time he was allowed to leave the house was if he was being punished and he had to run up and down the stairs in the backyard where nobody could see him, or walk the dog in the backyard, again, where nobody could see him. You don't have to take my word for it. You will hear in the text messages between Paul Ferguson and Shanda Vander Ark the extent of the horrors they inflicted upon Timothy. You will hear about his every movement being monitored by motion sensors and alarms on his body, multiple alarms on his body. Cameras watching his every move, making sure he did not go upstairs without permission, making sure he did not go to the bathroom with.
Okay, so basically I still need to do some digging on the father, but he had a stroke and was unable to take care of Timothy any longer, from my understanding. Did he pass, Daria? Because I know that the reason that Timothy went to go live with them is because his father had a stroke and couldn't take care of him anymore. I didn't know that he had passed. He might have. And yes, seeing for yourself how he actually was with his poor little brother makes it quite clear. Not everyone abused becomes an abuser. His own abuse does not excuse what he's done. Absolutely. You know, a lot of us in the true crime community are here because some of us have been victims of something, and it doesn't mean that we're out there doing these things to other people. So, I really don't like that excuse. Timothy wasn't supposed to go with them. I don't remember the whole story, though. Yeah, and from my understanding, Shanda didn't want him. And I believe that that's why he ended up in the situation that he ended up in. I agree with you, Simi. Paul broke and almost became a psychopath, just like the judge said. Yeah, the judge said you're one step away of becoming a psychopath. I don't know if that's what I thought I heard, but yeah. That is heartbreaking. This kid basically, yeah, absolutely.
Without permission. And when he went to the bathroom, he got 1 minute if he had to pee, and 2 minutes if he.
Yeah, hate watching. Perfect. Love it. Love it.
Had to poop. Some of you might already be saying to yourself, this sounds too incredible to be true. Again, you don't have to take my word for it. You will hear the text messages. You will see right there in print, right there before your very eyes, everything that I'm telling you. His access to food denied. Locks on the freezer. Locks on the refrigerator. Alarm on the pantry door. Alarms on the door to the small room where he was forced to sleep.
An alarm on his neck. So if he moved, she said, and don't move your head because if you do, we'll know. If I could play that video for you, I would, but I can't.
Now, interestingly, when we talk about that alarm on the small room, you're going to see the photographs of that alarm. When the police are there the first day, they take photographs of the scene. And as the investigation progresses, they go back the next day. Strangely, that alarm has been removed. The police get the text messages and start to go through the text messages, and a broader picture begins to emerge of what happened to Timothy, especially in those final hours leading up to his death, in the early morning hours of July 6th. And what they find is just as shocking as the fact that Timothy died as a result of malnutrition. For roughly the last 9 hours that Timothy Ferguson was alive, he was in an ice bath. First monitored by Paul, and then by Shanda, Timothy Ferguson was forced to lay in an ice bath for 9 hours. Already.
You know how people do those ice dunks? And you're only supposed to do it for like, what, a minute? Maybe. And like, that's not, they say it's healthy for you, but I don't know. Imagine that many hours sitting in an ice bath. And what she had to keep the ice in there is, you know, those little ice makers you could put on the counter? She constantly had that going, and they stored ice in the freezer. I think they put it in bags. That way they constantly could put ice in the bathtub. That's so evil.
Severely malnourished, already bone thin, forced to be in this bathtub. Again, first monitored by Paul, watched by Shanda from the.
And again, if you're like Simi and I and you've seen the videos, being in that ice bath would be absolute torture.
Those cameras, and then by her when Paul goes to work. Timothy is too weak to even move on his own volition at that point. That's where the hypothermia comes into play. The medical examiner, puzzled at first, how can there possibly be hypothermia in a child of 15 years old at this time of year? Well, when you spend 9 hours in an ice bathtub, that's what happens. You'll see the ice maker in the home, where the ice came from for his ice baths. And again, you don't have to take my word for it. You're going to hear it all in the text messages. And Ms. Vander Ark, again, when she talks to the police, she says, well, Timothy's he's just been on a hunger strike for the last 2 weeks. And I didn't know how bad it was getting until last night, and I made him a piece of toast. That's not true. And again, you don't have to take my word for it. On July 13th, almost 3 weeks before Timothy Ferguson passes away, Paul, in a moment of clarity, in a moment of sympathy for his brother, sees his brother without his shirt on and sends his mother a picture. Now, he's already rake thin at that point. Nothing more than skin and bone.
For those of you that know this case, do you guys really think that that was the first time that he saw his brother without a shirt on? Or do you think that these text messages were Do you think that these were premeditated text messages to make it seem like Paul cared? You know what I mean? To make it seem like, oh, well, let's make it look like, we cared. Reading through the Reddit threads have gotten more confused than ever. Oh no, she's going down the rabbit hole. That can't be the first time that he's seen him without his shirt on. Come on, he sees him every day. He's constantly under Shonda's thumb to take care of him and torture him. Like, come on. Pretending to care, in my opinion. Yeah, that's what I think. I think that those text messages were he touched Timothy on a pretty regular basis. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I think. I absolutely think that these messages were somewhat premeditated to, like, they knew that he was about to go. They had to figure something out. He was like, you know what? This might make me look a little bit better. Thank you, thank you.
And I submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, that any rational human being looking at that photograph would say, oh my God, we have got to do something to help this child. What's Miss Vander Ark's response? Okay, give him some bread.
Oh, what the fuck is he, a bird? You throw breadcrumbs at birds. That's what you do. You go to the park and you give birds your stale-ass bread.
A couple days after that, we learn what the hot sauce is for.
I'm so annoyed.
Make sure you give him the bread with the hot sauce on it. Make sure he eats 4 slices of bread with hot sauce on it. And if he does that and waits 30 minutes, he can have some more slices without hot sauce. This is a child who is already essentially on death's door with his malnutrition. And his mother, the person responsible for his care and custody and well-being, is telling her other son to feed him hot sauce. This isn't the only reference to hot sauce. You're going to hear multiple references to it throughout those text messages. At one point, Timothy commits the horrendous crime of eating the crust of a burger. Leftover pieces of a burger. And when she finds out, what does she tell Paul Ferguson to do?
Oh my God. This is next level.
Go make him throw up.
How dare he eat the crust of a burger? Go throw it up.
Sadly, Paul does that. Go make him throw up because he ate the crust of a burger. It's difficult to wrap your mind around the level of depraved indifference shown to Timothy Ferguson. Ladies and gentlemen, that is why I will be asking you to return a verdict of guilty of a count of felony murder in the first degree and first-degree child abuse. The judge has gone over the elements of that crime, and you have them in your jury instructions, and I won't belabor the point here. But the people's position is that Shanda Vander Ark caused the death of Timothy Ferguson as a result of that malnutrition, as a result of her repeated denial of his access to food during the last months of his life. And that during the course of that time period, she was inflicting emotional, mental, and physical abuse upon him with her actions. And again, you're not going to have to take my word for it. You're going to see the text messages. You're going to hear those text messages. This afternoon, I anticipate that Lieutenant Hooksma and Detective Vaughn will be reading those text messages to you, one playing the part of Paul Ferguson, the other reading Ms. Vander Ark's texts. And like I said, they are shocking. They are truly shocking. Paul's testimony will be as equally shocking. And again, you don't.
Paul's testimony, that one hits really hard because he's testifying against her but telling on himself, and he tries to act like, woe is me and I feel so bad. I love my little brother, but no, I'm not buying it anymore. I'm not buying it.
You don't have to like Paul Ferguson. I don't like Paul Ferguson. I hold Paul Ferguson responsible for the death of Timothy Ferguson just as I do the defendant in this case. But as we talked about in jury selection, it's not for you to decide what happens with Paul Ferguson. He's already made his choice, and he's agreed to cooperate and testify against his mother. And he will be pleading to a first-degree child abuse charge here. His sentence to be determined by Judge Case at a little later date. You don't have to like him, but I want you to listen to what he says. Because everything that he says is going to be corroborated by the physical evidence in this case.
I feel like maybe we should play his testimony before we put her on the stand. I'm gonna look into that. Do you guys want to hear his testimony before we put her lying bitch ass on the stand? Let me know. Put a 1 in the chat if yes.
Especially those text messages. He's going to tell you how Timothy Ferguson was a prisoner in that home. When the officers arrived that day, they didn't realize they were walking into a prison cell, but they were. And the horrors they uncovered are horrors not even inflicted upon prisoners of war who get the protection of the Geneva Convention. Horrors we don't inflict on prisoners here in the United States who get regular meals and access to small freedoms. Timothy had none of that. That's the how of this, ladies and gentlemen. That is the how of how Timothy Ferguson died. Now, the better question, the harder question, that most of you will likely be asking yourselves is why? When I was in college, I discovered a musical group called 10,000 Maniacs. Their 1987 album, In My Tribe, begins.
He's telling his age. But no, I really like his reference here. This is a good reference. I like it.
With a song called What's the Matter Here? And it was the first time I remember being aware of socially conscious lyrics for a song. It's a very powerful, very moving song. Natalie Merchant is the lead singer for the group and wrote the song. And the song is about her being a person who's witnessing what she believes to be child abuse, the physical abuse of a child in the building she lives in, and the mental abuse inflicted upon that child by the child's parents. The bridge of the song, after she hears threats made to the child by the father, has these lyrics. Answer me and take your time.
Who thinks she's getting a new trial, y'all? 3 of y'all think that she's going to get a new trial? I want to know why. Now I'm curious to know why. Ooh. I'm not judging. I just want to know why. I'm curious. Someone said, hell no.
What could be the awful crime he could do at so young an age? If I'm the only witness to your madness, offer me some words to balance out what I see and what I hear. These cold and lowly things that you do, I suppose you do because he belongs to you. And instead of love, you've given him these cuts and sores that don't heal with time or with age. Now, in the song, it's implied that she becomes the person who has the courage to speak up and say what's happening to this child and say, what's the matter here? She can stand up and protect the child. There was nobody that could stand up to Ferguson. There was nobody that could answer the question, what's the matter here? The defendant made sure that nobody could see Timothy, what was being done to him. Can't even produce a picture on her cell phone of him in the last 6 months of his life. I don't know about the rest of you as parents, but you can go 10 photos in my photo stream on my phone without finding a picture of my kids. But nothing in the 6 months leading up to his death.
Well, that would be incriminating evidence now, wouldn't it? If she started taking pictures and videos. I mean, she had cameras everywhere, so that right there is incriminating evidence, I guess.
What could be the awful crime he had done at so young an age? I can't answer the why for you. I don't have to answer the why for you. You will hear instructions from the judge that I don't have to prove the motive in this case. And I submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, that no why could possibly, as Natalie Merchant says in the song, no why could possibly justify the cold and lowly things done to Timothy Ferguson. All we know is that they were done. And as a result, Timothy Ferguson died without anyone there to speak up for him, without anyone to say, what's the matter here? So, ladies and gentlemen, at the conclusion of these very difficult proofs, I will be asking you to return a verdict of guilty, the charge of first-degree felony murder and first-degree child abuse. Thank you.
I think that was good. I mean, I like to see a little bit more oomph in my defense attorneys, or I'm sorry, my prosecuting attorneys. But I think that he made his points. I think that he was direct. He made his points, and he fights in this case. So, her poor defense attorney, y'all. I feel so bad for him. Now let's just appease him and let him do what he's got to do, all right? Now, we all know everybody needs a job, and he just so had happened to get this one, okay? So let's just let him do his job.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts. Mr. Johnson, do you wish to make an opening statement at this time?
I do.
All right, you may proceed.
Now he's gonna get animated.
Yes. What he said, I don't have a lot to argue with that. Yup. That's what you're going to hear. All the things you're going to hear those things.
He's like, yep, you gonna hear all that. Ain't nothing I can say. You gonna hear that.
Most of that evidence is not going to be controverted. All of it's going to come in almost exactly like he said it's going to come in. And at the end of the day, you're going to say, what's up? Why are we here? We're here, folks. We're here, folks. Because this case is not just terrible. It's weird. It's just strange.
He said it's weird. It's just strange. Oh, this poor attorney. I did not know what that meant. It looks like YouTube. I did not know what that meant. What do you mean, Judy? What part didn't you understand? Maybe I can help.
It goes into portions of our brains that we hope we don't have. And I say that because I'm a lawyer. I was paying attention to what Mr. Roberts says. One of the things he did talk about was what the statute says, and the judge read you this morning. He'll read you again. The exact word of the statute for this type of crime is knowing and intentional. All the things that he says that my client did, she has to know and she has to intend for either one of these charges to be violated. And you know, and if you had a recorder and you could hear his whole speech again, there's nothing about that. She knew, she intended. And you're going to be shown. Text messages. A telephone book of text messages. And they're going to be read to you. Some of the juicier parts are going to be read to you. And I ask you to pay close attention to those text messages. Because Because when you listen to those text messages and you're paying attention, and understand, these text messages were made and created at a time nobody knew there'd be anybody who'd ever read them. In other words, nobody's trying to fake what they're saying in here because they don't know anything.
Lies, bullshit. Hold on. Where's my bullshit button?
Bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
Is ever going to read them. So this.
I believe they knew what they was writing, because I believe that they knew that he was about to be gone, and they were covering their story.
This is what they're thinking at the time. This is what's going in there. All the things that are going in there is raw and it's real and it's unedited. And go find those text messages. And what you're going to hear over and over again, over and over again.
Get my gavel.
Listen to these messages.
Smart.
Is my client, Shanda Vander Ark, and her oldest son, Paul Ferguson.
It's okay, Vic. Have fun.
Had no idea that they were hurting this boy. If you listen to those messages.
I told you, this one, he gets animated.
They don't have a clue. And it's two of them. It's not just the one, not her and just him. At one point, he sends her the picture. At another point, she asks him, is he okay? Do you think we should feed him? And each time, the other person deflects and they continue to go on. They don't figure out that they're hurting Tim until he's dead. That's the first time it occurs to them, hey.
My ass. No, sir. You.
My detector test determined that was a lie.
No.
We got a problem here. And they get mad, and they panic, and they try to make up stories. She's going to testify. She's going to tell you what's going on. But as you listen to Paul's testimony, and as you listen to my client's testimony, neither one of them are aware of what's obvious to him and you and him and all the rest of us. We're all going to see it. How could you not see it?
Well, Judy, when that's all he's got to work with. I mean, look at his client. All he can do is put on his show, because we all know that it's bullshit.
Listen to him. They don't. They see things. They don't see the suffering. They don't see this. They call what they're doing to him punishments, and they consider in response to what he's doing. Over and over again. He's not going to win on this one. He's not going to get away with this. He's not going to do this. These are punishments that they feel are reasonable and are not hurting him. I have heard, and I expect Paul to take that stand and then tell you he wishes he could change everything now, and he wishes he could die for his brother now. But at the time he was doing these things, he didn't see a problem with it. In fact, Paul is the one. My client's the one. Paul wants to take it a step further. He wants to start getting physical with this boy. It's my client who tells him you're not allowed to do that. These are appropriate punishments. There's no intention. There's no intention to hurt or kill or to abuse this young man. My client will take the stand. You'll find out she's a highly intelligent person. She went to law school. She passed the bar examination. She was in the process of trying to become licensed as this matter began. She graduated cum laude in her high school, college. I think law school was the second person on the list. She was clerking for judges. She was working and studying, and she was this close to achieving lifelong goals. Then she gets a call from her ex-husband. I'm putting Timothy out, the victim. You want him, or he's going to...
I don't know, girl. I don't even know. I wouldn't be able to. And I'm pretty sure that he's an appointed attorney. Like, I don't think that he's, getting paid the big bucks to do this either. So he's really trying. He's putting on a show.
Protective services. She takes him in. She takes him in.
She takes him in. She takes him in. Oh my God. She took in her own son, you guys. Let's give her a freaking gold
She
medal.
takes him in. Send him to me. I don't want my son in the system. Send him to me. She takes him. She brings him to her home. And then the wheels start to fall off in her life. Her husband gets seriously ill. She's now struggling with the expenses of the home and the 3 children and everything else that's going on. She's working, she's going to school, she's doing all these things. She's not sleeping. And something happens with her and Paul. They tend to see things that I can't, and I'm not a doctor. I don't have a doctor coming here to tell you about this stuff. All I have is Exhibit 1 or whatever it's going to be. That's going to tell you these people don't know they're hurting this kid. They love this child. They don't know. They don't see it. Whatever's going on between them, they don't see it until it's too late. And that's what happens. There is a terrible situation. Everything he said you're going to hear, that's he didn't lie to you. But there's no intention to hurt this child. They love this child. There's no intention to abuse this child. They love this child. But they just...
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
They just don't see what's before their eyes and what you and I can see. They don't see it. And so they continue on a course.
Karen, this is the Shanda Vander Ark case. She and her older son tortured and murdered her son, Timothy Ferguson, which is the little boy you could see up in the corner there. If you go back and look at my live videos, you'll see that we started, not the last stream, but the stream before, we started covering it. And so what we're doing is opening statements right now. And then I believe next week we'll probably put Paul Ferguson on the stand. So if you want to go back and watch what we did last week, you can learn more about the case.
Which was not only destructive to him, but led to this.
Yeah, no intention to hurt the child, but let's not feed him. Let's put him in ice baths. Let's put hot sauce on his little private parts. Let's feed him hot sauce. Let's shackle him. Let's make him do, what are they called, wall sits or something like that. Let's lock him in a closet, put a electric monitoring device around his neck so he can't move his head. I mean, yeah, for sure. They loved him. They absolutely freaking loved him.
This hearing. They have no interest in doing this personally or in terms of their love to their child. This is something they don't know they're doing. They don't get it. And poor Tim ends up paying the ultimate price. But this isn't murder. This is not murder. This is something's wrong, but it's not murder. And we're going to ask you to find my client not guilty. Thank you.
And that's that, guys. Those are the opening statements. So next week we will... my hair got caught in my earrings. Okay, next week we will come back with, I guess we'll put Timothy on the stand, or I keep saying Timothy, oh my God, I'm so sorry. We'll put Paul on the stand and go from there. I might do, so was it Friday? I think I did a live. on a different subject. I might start doing a live in between some of these on different cases because there's a couple cases that I want to cover, but I don't want it to like interfere with this too much. I will be doing, like I did today, some news updates. Jinx, Jinx, can you put the can you put the link to the last live for Karen so she could see what case this is? Um, I'll be doing some just news clips and stuff like that to get the thing going, and then that's pretty much it. Does anyone have anything else that they want to add or say? And before we get out of here, I guess we can close this. Yeah, Shanda Vander Ark. Ay, I cannot type either. Oh my goodness, what is wrong with me today? Um, I guess I'm gonna close this poll. And it looks like we had 75% as yes, she'll get a new trial, 25% hell no, and 0% not sure. So I guess a lot of 3 of you thinks that she's going to get a new trial, and 1 of you said no. So we'll keep asking that as we go through this. I appreciate all of you for being here. Timothy Ferguson, yes, thank you. Yes, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you, and I will, oh Lord, see you guys sometime in the next few days-ish. And I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.
So long for now and goodbye. We'll see you later.